Secret Agent blah blah blah. We need you to solve this case. There's dead fish turning up everywhere along the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. We need you to get to the bottom of this.
Sir, I retired years ago. I will join you one last time. I know who can help me. The palm reader.
Hello, traveler. I sense your presence. You are looking for answers.
Wow! I am looking for answers! How did you know?
Hush. Tell me of your ailments.
I need help. Fish are dying.
Enough. I'm on a lunch break.
Shoot! I have to go to my backup plan. Scientists! Hello, scientists. Why are the fish dying?
Well, the reason the fish are dying is because of the massive dead zone at approximately 8,776 miles in the Gulf of Mexico. Chemical fertilizers along the Mississippi River are getting into the ocean, and all of the excess chemicals contained within those fertilizers is going straight to the algae. This is called eutrophication.
Eutrophication? That sounds like a good thing. More plants, right?
Quite the contrary, actually, Mr. Blah Blah Blah. What is born must eventually die. As the algae die off, bacteria, serving as decomposers, will break down the dead algae. These bacteria need a lot of oxygen to decompose so much algae, which, in turn, decreases the oxygen levels in that area. Now, when other ocean species migrate towards this dead zone, they won't have a sufficient amount of oxygen and will soon die, leading to all of the dead fish found near the coast of the Gulf of Mexico.
Then I'll just get a tank and kill all of the fertilizer.
It's not that simple. Farmers still need fertilizers to grow their crops and feed people like us.
Well then, I'll just have to work something out with the farmers. Mrs. Farmer, your fertilizer is killing fish. We need to put an end to this. What are you doing?
Well, I've been working with these nice people from the Conservancy staff and other scientists, and they've been trying to come up with more effective and efficient fertilizers that can reduce the amount of nutrients that flow when heavy rains occur. They told me that if I manage my nutrient from my crops, the surface runoff, or whatever it's called, can be maintained and still give me some yummy food for my customers and the money I need to support my family. Also, some smarticle particle scientists have been trying to reconnect rivers to their floodplains, which not only reduce flooding in our areas, but also filter out excess nutrients.
Well, if you're doing all of that, then why is the dead zone not shrinking?
Well, because of our consistent growing population in this nation, us farmers have had to intensify our farming, which is usually done by using more fertilizer and planting more crops, so our business can thrive and people can still have food for their bellies. Also, some people from the government have been threatening to eliminate conservation programs, especially along the Mississippi. These budget cuts are restraining our ability to solve this problem.
You know what? I quit. It's not solvable. It's over. I'm done.
I sense sorrow in you, traveler.
Yes, I've hit a rough patch lately. How did you know?
The song kind of gave it away. Don't give up now, traveler. If you do, our marine ecosystems and food webs would be irreparably damaged. Our nation's food industries would crumble, and our beloved marine species would go extinct. I'm about to go on another lunch break, but to learn more, visit www.deadfish.com. Hello, this is Dr. Professor Lee, Sr., and today I'm going to be talking about the dead zone and its effects now and in the future. So, this hypoxic area in the Gulf of Mexico is causing large population drops in the ocean. A primarily targeted species is fish, since, according to the Scientific American in 2018, the dead zone is creating reproduction problems in fish species, decreasing the egg count as there is more stress put upon them to escape the growing dead zone. As fish struggle to migrate to different areas in order to lay their eggs, more baby fish are born with birth defects, leading to a lower survival rate. Now, with less fish, more predatory species are dying off, as now the competition for food becomes more intense. Additionally, from NOAA, it is stated that bottom fauna, or organisms that live on the ocean floor, like shellfish, a critical component to many ocean food chains, are unable to move out of these hypoxic zones, ultimately dying. If these sea creatures aren't able to adapt quickly enough or move away far enough, we might be looking at another mass extinction, since, according to the University of Queensland in 2015, declining oxygen levels in the ocean have played a role in at least 4 of the 5 mass extinctions on this planet. The loss of many primary consumers leads to a chain reaction to the overall decrease of our beloved ocean species. Furthermore, stated also by the National Ocean Service, it is said that in areas where hypoxic waters are large, like the Gulf of Mexico, there is an effect on the size of brown shrimp sold to customers. There is a large increase in smaller shrimp being sold, and these growth impairments are most likely caused by these hypoxic waters. These brown shrimp are the largest commercial market in the Gulf of Mexico, and the economic impacts of this decreasing population are very significant. Now, not only are these brown shrimp migrating to areas with higher oxygen levels, other sea animals that humans depend on for food and income are moving further from the hypoxic waters, which are usually close to shore. This makes fishermen sail further out to sea to catch fish and shrimp, using more energy, money, and time. And since income is slower, there's less money to pay these fishermen, and poverty percentages are starting to increase around those areas as well. The Gulf of Mexico accounts for more than 40% of the nation's seafood industry, according to the Nature Conservancy in 2018. So, smaller populations of sea organisms and a growing population of humans can only lead to disaster.
I must find a solution that has not been tried before. I need to save the fish. Alright, time to record my response to the commissioner. Boop, 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 boop. Hello, Commissioner. I cracked the case. I found a multi-step road that will leave the dead zone begging for forgiveness. This plan not only benefits the farmers, but benefits the environment. So it's a win-win situation, and we can make sure that the farmers will adopt it because of all the benefits it gives them. Now, the first step is to plant native plants. Now, what's good for the environment about this is that it absorbs water, which means there's less water runoff going to the ocean, and water runoff is one of the major causes of dead zones in the ocean. What's good for the farm about this is they can choose native plants that actually give them produce. They can choose flowers, they can sell flowers at a bouquet, they can choose apple trees, the apple tree, they can get the apples and sell those. So the farmer is actually making money off of this, so they'll be more obliged to join the plan. Also, these native plants can bring animals to the area, and these animals can poop, which creates more natural fertilizer in the area, so there's less need for chemical fertilizers that go into the ocean, and also the farmers are saving money on fertilizer since they're using this natural poop fertilizer that they got for free from these animals. Also, we can reduce the amount of water runoff by creating an underground reservoir that collects rainwater in multiple ways. And one of these ways is actually creating these little channels around the farm that collects the water runoff, and these channels would lead the water into an underground reservoir. Also, this underground reservoir would get water from water buckets, like rain buckets you put outside that collect rain. And you might be wondering, well, what is this underground reservoir doing with the water? Well, the genius of this plan is the farmer can actually use the water in this reservoir in their farm. They can water the plants using it, so they're saving money on water bills. And also, since this water is not going in the ocean, not the super nutrient-rich water is not polluting the ocean and creating dead zones, so it's really a win-win for everybody. And so if you just follow this multi-step plan, maybe just tell the farmers about this, Mr. Commissioner, we can really solve this problem.